Hi, it's Vex, and today we got our first deck tech of Strixhaven. That's right, we're so excited. We played enemy color pairs, and this is the Orzhov, but wait, not Orzhov, Mardu. Bam, with a modal double face card commander. That's right, Extus, Oriq, Overlord. So this is the big baddie of the Strixhaven saga. But if you don't see, he has story spotlight. But if you don't read the story wherever, he's the big baddie, and he has a mold double face card. So let's read Extus. It's 1 white, black, black. So a little concentrate on black. From the Silver Quill school. A legendary creature, human warlock, double strike. Don't forget the double strike. Commander damage might matter. Usually it doesn't, but hey, it might. It's a weird ability. It's got double strike. I don't know why. It doesn't really matter, but it's got Magecraft. So Strixhaven's all about spells and stuff. So we've got a lot of spells in this deck. It's got whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, return target non-legendary creature card from your graveyard to your hand. So anytime you cast or copy a spell, you get a little raised dead. It's a pretty good value. So what we want to do is cycle through our creatures from the graveyard to the hand, back to the graveyard to the hand, over and over again and then get spells to get them back. Let's read the backside. Awaken the Blood Avatar, so called 6 black red. Now, this is a sorcery in your command zone. This card itself counts as your commander, so the command tax is on the card. You may cast your commander creature or your commander led sorcery from the command zone, and then every additional time you pay the commander tax. So you can cast Awaken the Blood Avatar for 6 black red. First time, and the second time would be 8 black red, and so on. Let's read what it says. So it's a sorcery. An additional cost to cast this spell. You may sacrifice any number of creatures. This spell costs 2 less to cast for each creature sacked this way. That also does reduce commander tax. So I know a lot of people try like infinite mana, cast Awaken the Blood Avatar like infinite times, but what it does, each opponent sacks a creature, kind of like a Crackling Doom. Crackling Doom is actually in our deck. It creates a 3/6 black and red avatar creature token with haste, and wherever this creature attacks, it deals 3 damage to each opponent. So it's got 3/6 haste, attacks, deals 3 damage to each opponent. A lot of people tune the deck to make little tokens to do Awaken the Blood Avatar a bunch of times. Makes each opponent sack a creature, makes a little red avatar creature token. It's not legendary. The avatar is not legendary. And then whenever it attacks, it deals 3 damage to each opponent. And it has haste, so you can just, if you have infinite mana, you can cast this infinite times from your command zone, make infinite dudes, make your opponent sack infinite creatures, make 3/6 black avatar creature with haste that attacks, deal 3 damage to each opponent. It's just basically an auto kill if you have infinite mana. But this deck's more concentrated on the front side, Extus, because I really just like grinding value, getting stuff back from the graveyard, raising dead, all about Extus. Now you can cast Awaken the Blood Avatar, but the deck has some token generators, but the main point is Extus. And also, this is why I say always bring Graveyard Hate, because you got decks like this running around. I forgot to show you, I had a token of it, Avatar. Actually, I had to run, find the token. This is the Avatar token right here. And also how it works with infinite mana is, let's put this in the right position. Infinite mana is after you cast a sorcery, it goes to your graveyard, but it goes to graveyard as Extus. Extus, then you have a state-based action to put in the command zone, so you put it back in the command zone, recast sorcery over and over again with infinite mana. Also, don't leave home without your tokens. This does make some creatures, and you get the Blood Avatar. Has a little pest here too, so a bunch of multicolored creatures here: Avatar, Pest, Soldier, Spirit, and Treasures. So don't leave home without your tokens. Let's put Extus to the side right here on the bottom. All right, so what we want to do is we obviously, we want to play spells, right? That's one. We want to play creatures that either go to a graveyard easily or die or has sack outlets and stuff. Yep, so those two blended together, and then do rinse and repeat, do it over and over again. So the best creatures that go right to a graveyard are creatures that are kind of like spells. Shriekmaw, the evoke creatures from original Lorne block. Well, there's no second Lorne set anyway, so Lorne set and block, where you could play it for its vote cost. So you may play a spell for its vote cost. If you do, sacrifices when it enters the battlefield. So you can pay 4 black and get Shriek Maw with Fear. When it enters the battlefield, destroy target non-artifact, non-black creature, so essentially a terror. You play it, and if you play for a vote cost, it just dies. But the cool part about it dying is you can use Extus to get it right back. Play it for its vote cost, it dies again. It does not. It's not an instant sorcery, so it doesn't trigger Extus's Magecraft ability, but it's a way to get creature right into the graveyard, because it only works if you have a creature in the graveyard. If you cast a spell with Extus in the battlefield, no creature in the graveyard, doesn't do anything. So you want to get creature in the graveyard, you got Shriek Maw as a good evoke creature right there. Ingot Chewer, pay 1 red, essentially destroy target artifact. Boom. Wismare, destroy target enchantment. So yeah, these are 3 main evoke creatures: destroy creatures, artifacts, and then enchantments. I decided I didn't want any the other evoke creatures. They weren't that efficient, so these are good. We have an honorary evoke creature, as in Kroxa, Titan of Death's Hunger, so it kind of does that. It does the evoke thing. You play it, its trigger. Both triggers happen. Then you have to sacrifice it since you didn't escape it. Make a discard card. Opponent's discard card, lose life, such as that. Next thing we have is these creatures don't sack themselves, but they're very, very good. We have the 2 recruiters, Recruiter of the Guard, Imperial Recruiter. We do have small value creatures. I mean, Kroxa is not small. Wismare is a 1/3, then you got 3/3. This can't be 2/4. Shriek Maw can be 2/4 with Recruiter of the Guard. This can be 2/4 with Imperial Recruiter. Yeah, the 2 recruiters to get stuff for you based on what you need. If you need a Shriek Maw, you can use it. Based on what recruiter you have and what you need, you can tutor things. Another dude gets in the graveyard pretty easily. Street Wraith. So you can cycle, pay 2 life. This is the only cycling card I have because I have other value creatures and sack outlets. So, but Street Wraith, if you need a Raise Dead and then just cycle again, very good value creature. Get draw you cards for free. When I say free, well, without costing you mana, and gets yourself back in the graveyard. The best value creature that I would try to tutor for as fast as possible is the 2 recruiters, and then using the recruiters. Both recruiters can get Dockside Extortionist, which gives you lots of mana to cast lots of spells to go in this grindy loop of getting Street Wraith back, casting some spells with Dockside Extortionist, sacrifice Dockside Extortionist, get Dockside Extortionist back, make a bunch of treasure. So it does a lot of good things. So this is the most value creature that I always tutor for. But based on the game state, like other creatures are better. We have other value creatures that make more creatures that can help cast the backside. The backside. Let me just take this out. Awaken the Blood Avatar, right there. But it's still good because again we're kind of like a Spells Matter deck. I mean, this whole set is a Spells Matter set. So we have Young Pyromancer, make lots of creatures. Monastery Mentor, make lots of creatures. Sedgemoor Witch essentially is kind of like a Young Pyromancer that makes whenever you cast or copy an instant sorcery, create a 1/1 black and green pest creature token with when this creature dies you gain 1 life. I know pests are pretty complicated, but essentially when it dies you gain life. These are little cute little guys right there. New to Strixhaven. Put that pest back there. But it also has other text too, so it's not just like a Young Pyromancer with it's just spell text, but it's got Menace, Ward 3. So essentially if you want to target this, you gotta pay 3 life. Menace is good too. This can be I think use Recruiter of the Guard to get it. This is a really cool card from another Magecraft card from Strixhaven, Stormkiln Artist, and it gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control, which is that's not really super relevant, but it's relevant with its Magecraft ability. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, create a treasure token. So it's kind of like a Dockside that is Magecraft. So good to get more mana. Of course, my always go-to is Dockside, but if your opponent's not playing that many artifacts or enchantments, then Stormkiln Artist is a good go-to as well to help you generate some mana. Speaking of generate treasures, Pitiless Plunderer. So whenever another creature you control dies, create a treasure. So it's a good way, because again, your creatures are dying via evoke. There are some sack outlets, we'll get to that. stuff like that. So Peerless Plunderer, Dualcaster Mage can be tutored again by both the recruiters. This is really cool because it's a creature that copies an instant or sorcery. There's like one mini infinite combo loop. I'll let you guys figure it out. It's probably I think it requires like 4 or 5 cards. But there is one infinite combo. It's hard to set up, but Dualcaster is part of it, I believe. When you flash it in, you pay 1 red, and it copies instant sorcery. Remember Magecraft on Extus and the Stormkiln Artist and Sedgemoor Witch do trigger on copies, so it's really good, cool there. Living Lightning can be tutored with Recruiter of the Guard. When it dies, return target instant source card from graveyard to hand. So this kind of like helps the loop. This is one. I think this is one of the cards in the infinite loop. Gets things back when ETB is in the battlefield. It gets things back, but things get it back with Extus. Now this is a nasty card, which it's a self-sack outlet. You know, sacrifice Fulminator Mage, destroy target non-basic land. So you could just do some crazy stuff with Fulminator Mage. So it's a self-sack outlet. Here are some sack outlets here. Vizier Seer, no mana cost, sack outlet, very, very good. Yawgmoth, note, Yawgmoth cannot, Extus cannot get Yawgmoth back because it's a non-legendary creature, but Yawgmoth is such a good sack outlet, I had to include it. Can be used by an Imperial Recruiter to get it. This is 2/4. Protection from humans, so if your opponent is playing humans deck, which I played this deck a couple times, and my one opponent was playing humans, it was hilarious. Yawgmoth's insane against humans, it's so good. A 0 mana sack outlet, very good here. And then we have some drain effects. You know, playing it's like a little aristocrats going on here. Cruel Celebrant, Zulpul Cutthroat. I did not have enough for Blood Otters. I found Bastion of Remembrance. I feel a little better in Blood Otters because you're sacking your own creatures, and it's hard. It's on a hard to remove permanent, and it makes a creature, so it's kind of like an honorary creature, but not a creature that you can return back from the graveyard. So that is our creature suite. Again, we're not playing a lot of creatures because once we get Extus on the battlefield, we can just cycle these creatures over and over again to get value. But we are playing spells, a lot of spells, because obviously this is a Magecraft deck with Extus. So let's see. Let's check out the spells we're doing. The tutors. We got some mighty tutors in this deck. OG Demonic Tutor. I mean, we're playing black. You gotta play Demonic Tutor if you have it. They did reprint it, so it got cheaper, so it's a good thumbs up. Strixhaven. I do not have the Mystical Archive art, so therefore I use old school. Well, not super old. Ultimate Masters Demonic Tutor. Diabolic Intent, good sack outlet. Usually I don't try to play that many tutors, but Diabolic Intent is actually sometimes maybe better than Demonic Tutor in this deck, because it if you have Extus on the battlefield and another creature on the battlefield but nothing in the graveyard, what you do is cast Diabolic Intent. And this is as an additional cost to cast this spell, sack a creature. So you sack a creature, cast Diabolic Intent, Extus's trigger goes on a stack. You target that creature, you need to bring it back to your hand. Pretty darn good. So sometimes better than Demonic Tutor in the deck. Gamble. This is the way to tutor up something. And hopefully, this is actually the time where you actually sometimes want it in your graveyard. Usually gamble for one of the recruiters. If it's in the graveyard, it's fine. You can get it back with Extus. If you get to keep it, it's fine. You get to play it. Either way, it's fine. Entomb. Again, the recruiters are very important. Entomb, Buried Alive. Put stuff directly in your graveyard to be used with Extus. However, when you cast Entomb, Extus triggers first. Then you entomb the creature. So you don't get the entombed creature with Extus. Now, if you're having creatures in your graveyard, why not? Let's do some reanimating. Because you're sacking creatures and everything. Remember, you can also reanimate a creature from any graveyard, from your opponent's graveyard, which is very good too. So reanimate helps get creatures back. Unearth helps get some. It's a spell as well too. It gets creatures back to your hand. Unearth gets creatures back. And it gets small creatures, but we're playing a lot of small creatures, so it's not too bad. Savine's Reclamation gets permanents back, not just creatures, but mostly creatures in this deck. And it's flashbacks too, so you can cast it twice. That's good. And then Agadeem's Awakening. This is the Zendikar Rising Moldell Face Land card. You get creatures, you can just put it back in your hands. It's like another Raise Dead. That's good too. Bridging the Gap. Faithless Looting. It's like card neutral, card selection, not card draw. But it's a good spell. It does its thing. You know, it gets things in the graveyard. Gets you a spell for Magecraft. Here, now Bridging the Gap to card draw. Now we have, you know, we want to just cycle through our deck because casting spells does two things. It does what the spell does and does the Magecraft ability. So Village Rites, and this is a cool part. It's like you sack a creature, draw two cards. Very good because you sack a creature. Additional costs. So same thing with the Diabolic Intent. You could sack a creature as an additional cost to cast a spell. Extus will trigger, and then you get the creature back to your hand. Very good. Knight's Whisperer, draw 2 cards, lose 2 life. Sign in Blood, target player draws 2 cards and loses 2 life. So it's slightly different, but if somebody's at 2 life, you can kill somebody with Sign in Blood. It does happen. I've seen it. It's pretty cool. Read the Bones, more card draw. Valakut Awakening, card draw, and a Mold Double Face land. Now, one of the super powerful cards. I mean, I don't think I ranked this Jessica's Will number 1. But I feel like I should have ranked it number 1, Commander Legends cards. This card is insane. I know Jewel Low is super powerful. I don't rate that because I usually don't play it in my casual decks. Anyways, back to here. Jessica's Will is insane. It's so good. So much mana. It's like a ritual and a card draw at the same time. Very, very good. Speaking of card draw, Skull Clamp. You got little creatures. Skull Clamp puts them right in the graveyard. Gets you some card draw. Excellent in this deck. You do have some token makers like, you know, Bastion of Remembrance right here. Skull Clamp is your go-to. Okay, so those are card draw. Again, we're just trying to burn through this deck. Tutors and card draw. To get things in the graveyard, get little creatures, loop them, grind, grind, grind. All right, next set of cards, removal. We have loaded this deck up with removal because, you know, obviously our commander wants it. So let's do it. We got let's start classical Swords of Plowshares. Usually I add like about 50% of my white decks, maybe a little less, Path to Exile, because I rather have board wipes. But again, we want cheap removal because Extus doesn't bring it back to the battlefield, brings it back to your hand. So you want to cast a spell, get a creature back, put a creature on the battlefield, maybe do 2 spells, 2 creatures, sack a creature, get it back, you know, stuff like that. So you're doing a lot of things for a little amounts of mana. I love this card, Rip Apart. I wish it was instant, but that would make it completely broken. Good card from Strixhaven. It's like an Abrade, but a little better, but at sorcery speed, obviously. D-Spark, very good. I think Orzhov staple. Anguish Unmaking, another Orzhov staple. Very, very excellent. I'm playing Mardu, and you know what? I need to start including this in more of my Mardu decks. Crackling Doom, because it does 2 damage to each opponent, so we're also doing a little draining too. And each opponent sacks a creature with the greatest power among creatures they control. So it gets rid of Big Daddy things. Good Shatter Skull Smashing, Mold Double Face card spell. Now you could just play red and X equals 0 if you just want to cast a spell just for the Magecraft ability. It could happen, but yeah, it's very good as a land, as a spell. Like having this deck really wants you to have a dense spell count, and these Mold Double Face cards are amazing because in a pinch it becomes a land, but it can just be used as a spell. Vandal Blast, again, it can be a cheap or an expensive spell. Very good at what it does. Wear Tear, same thing. Kills enchantments, artifacts. Can be cheap 1. It can be CMC 1, or sorry, mana value 1, mana value 2, or mana value 3. Very good there. These are targeted removal, kind of. Some Born Wipes, Toxic Deluge. I'm playing Mardu. I have to play Ruinous Ultimatum. How can I not? It's just necessary in a Mardu deck. Plasma Sack, some Board Wipes there. Onto the utility cards. We do have some Graveyard Hate in Rakdos Charm, Artifact Hate, or Token Hate. It's very good. It is such a good card because I've seen some boards go wide. People have their tokens, their Scoot Swarms, and like, yeah, you got 40 Scoot Swarms. I'm gonna Rakdos Charm you. 1 damage for each creature each player controls. Bam. Next we have another cool Orzhov card. Kaya's Guile. So more graveyard hate. I can't emphasize enough how important graveyard hate is. Graveyard hate would wreck this deck a little bit. That's why it's important. I'm not saying your opponents should play graveyard hate. I'm saying you should play graveyard hate for your opponents. Kaya's Guile does create a little mini token, gains you life, exile cards from each opponent's graveyard. Each opponent sacks a creature. More creature sacrificing. It goes with the theme, you know. It goes with Awaken the Blood Avatar right here. Let's put that out for just a teeny while because it's fun to look at. Lingering Souls. It's 2 spells. Very good. Makes 2 little creatures. Can help cast Awaken the Blood Avatar if necessary. Assemble the Legion. Now this is in here specifically for Awaken the Blood Avatar. Makes little 1/1 creatures. I mean, we are going wild. We do have Sedgemoor Witch, Young Pyromancer, Monastery Mentor. So they make tokens. So Assemble the Legion. It's fun. Why not? And then they can sack them for a bunch to alter Dementia, a free sack outlet, drain them with Zulapul Cutthroat. So this is a grindy deck. Alter Dementia does 2 things. Helps you mill yourself, helps you mill your opponent. I guess 3 things. And a free sack outlet. So I like it. Works really well. 2 protection cards. Swiftfoot Boots, Lightning Greaves. Helps protect your commander. Then we have our usual ramp package in Mardu, Smothering Tide, Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Felwar Stone. I usually like playing Felwar Stone in Mardu or 4-color decks because we're not playing green, so we need some options somewhere. Orzhov Signet. This is the only Signet I have. Talisman Hierarchy because of Extus is a white black black, so we're mainly in white black black. Our commander is mainly. So those are our ramp package. Not a lot. Remember, we're really trying to get that Dockside or the Magecraft Treasure Maker. So our land's pretty straightforward. Modern land base. You got your rainbow lands here. Got the new Savai Triumph from Ikoria. Looks gorgeous, doesn't it? You have your Shockland, Buddy lands, Modal Double Face lands. Oops, I keep flipping these, but they're not see-through. Battle Bond lands, some fetch lands, utility lands mainly in black because we do have a double black commander, but these are ultra staples: black Bajuka Bog, Castle Lochthwain, Orborg, so good staples there. Phyrexian Tower, way to sack creatures. I mean, of course, sacking creatures make mana. That's what we want. Sack creatures. Silent Clearing. Again, another Orzhov land, some basic lands for my Strixhaven. And these basic lands are not part of the base set. Look at that. That's crazy, isn't it? The Mystical Archive replaced the basic land slot. All right. So that is the deck tech. This deck is super fun. I played it a couple times. It's grindy. But once it gets going, once the engine gets going, you have that what I quote unquote call that long turn. And it's super fun to execute. You're just recycling things over and over again. It's fun. And I definitely highly recommend anybody playing this. It doesn't seem too unfair. Of course somebody can kill your commander and end your crazy loop, but you can always play an instant in response to them killing commander to get some stuff back from your graveyard. So super fun. Anyways, if you enjoyed the deck tech, give it a thumbs up. Smash the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to get alerted when I post new videos. I have the deck list and TCG Player affiliate link in the description below. So give that a gander. We're going to shuffle this deck up, do a little gold fishing, and we'll be right back. All right, we're back. So let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we need creatures, some lands, some spells. That's basically what we need for most Magic games, right? Okay, we got 1 creature. That's kind of a creature. Got some lands. These are lands. This is a spell. Okay, Felwar Storm. Unearth. Okay, so be careful with this. If there's only 1 creature in the graveyard, you target, and you have Extus on the battlefield, you target it. Extus trigger will trigger. It's not a May ability, right? Return target non-legendary creature from graveyard to your hand, so it's not May. Extus will return that card to your hand, and then Unearth will fizzle. So remember, you got usually cast Unearth with 2 creatures. if you have Extus on the battlefield. One you want to return to the battlefield, one you want to return to hand. All right, let's go here. This is a land. Remember that. This is a triome right here. All right, so let's go for it. Draw a card. More ramp. Okay, let's do this. So usually you sack this right away. Sack this Arid Mesa here. Search for your triome. It is a full art triome, so it is easier to search for. Usually, if I have a fetch land and I don't need that land to come in and play untapped, it's always a triome. The first land I always fetch out of this deck is a triome because it produces all 3 colors, has all 3 land types. It's wonderful. Does everything you need. Genuinely shuffle the deck. Boom, cut the deck right there. All right, next turn. See what we get. Godless Shrine. See, good thing we didn't fetch for that. All right, so what we do is play this Plains. Remember, our commander needs double black. So play this Plains right here. What you can do is tap this, play Fellwar Stone. If the opponent is playing black, you play Fellwar Stone because you can play Entomb right here. So what you do is you tap this, you get Entomb. Usually the white Recruiter is the better one. Recruiter the Guard. In my testing, but it depends if you want to maybe recruit Yawgmoth. Now, one recruiter can actually recruit the other recruiter. They do stack. They recruit each other. I know it's kind of funny. So if you need both recruit, it's the very last card. So we're entombing this Recruiter the Guard right into the graveyard right there. Recruiter card can get Dockside Extortionist. It can get Shriekmaw. It can get Wismare. So it's got some good cards. We do have Shriekmaw in our hand array, so we don't really need that. It cannot get Yawgmoth. But can we get Viscera Seer if you need a sack outlet? All right. Oh, this is turn 2, so now we're going to turn 3. Here, let's draw a card. Pitiless Plunderer, so that's a fun card to play with. Okay. So we can play Extus here. We do have a creature in a graveyard, so we can invoke Shriekmaw. So I think we'll play Extus next turn. So what we'll do is, see here, if we play our Signet, tap Fellwar Stone into Signet, we could play Shriekmaw, sack Shriekmaw, kill somebody's commander maybe, why not? And then we'll play our, we could use it as a spell, so let's just play our lands for now, just in case we draw another land next turn. All right, so now I have 2 creatures in a yard, which is fantastic. Unearth does not get Shriekmaw back because Shriekmaw is 5 mana value. All right, so did our rampy things. Now we turn 4 here. We'll draw a card, Agadeem's Awakening. Okay, it's good. It can be a spell or a land. I think what we want is, let's see here. We want to play Unearth. So I think we have 5 mana to play Extus and Unearth. So we can play one of these things tapped. I recommend the keep the black one. We need double black, which is here. We have black here, so we probably will play the red one. Shower Skull Hammer pass. And to play tapped, we'll make sure we have black. Filter this into white, black, and a colorless. We assume that one of our opponents is playing black, so we'll play Extus right here. Oriq Overlord on turn 4, just sweet. What we're going to do is we're going to tap our Fellwar Stone, use black, use Unearth, return target creature, convert mana cost 3 or less from graveyard to battlefield. We're going to return Recruiter the Guard here to the battlefield, but that's targeting that. Then Extus trigger will happen whenever you cast a copy of instant sorcery. Return a target non-legendary creature card from a graveyard to a hand. That's Shriekmaw. Shriekmaw is coming back to our hand. Recruiter the Guard going to the battlefield. I know we love searching our deck with this deck here. Recruiter the Guard is going to find our friend, Mr. Dockside Extortionist. Or it depends on your situation. So, Living Lightning if you want to get the Unearth back. Too bad I can't loop it with that. Let's see here. And get the other Recruiter if you want more recruiting action. And get you a sack outlet. All the fun stuff. Cannot get you Yawgmoth. but can get you a Fulminator Mage. Usually you want Dockside. What do we actually want? Can we get a... we can always Shriekmaw Recruiter Guard back to use Extus to get it back. You know, all these crazy things can happen. Dualcaster Mage. We don't know. There's too many options. Let's see what else we can get here. We actually get Kroxa. It goes right. No, we can't recruit Kroxa. What the heck am I thinking? Wismare, we can get that. Young Pyromancer, but I'll get Monastery Mentor before I get Young Pyromancer. Monastery Mentor. So what we want is get our mana engine going. Dockside Extortionist. Bam. Too bad I don't have extra mana to cast that as well. But we have recruited successfully. I dropped a card here. Not bad. Alright, shuffle the deck again. I know I'm shuffling like crazy. Dockside Extortionist goes to our hand. Put this here. Put this here. Turn 5. Draw a card. Boom. Reanimate. Woo! That's a great card. That does a lot of things. So we could cast our Pitiless Plunderer when things die. We can always even streak my own Recruiter to get it back if we really wanted to. Really wanted to. But if you need lots of mana, you can always go Dockside Extortionist, right? Tap this, tap the plains. Dockside Extortionist. We're going to assume that our opponents have, like 4, which is very conservative. It usually has way more than that. Artifacts and enchantments, but let's just conservatively assume they have 4. So it's a ritual essentially on a dude. Okay. Play our Pitiless Plunderer. We could play that. Here, tap our real mana. Here, Pitiless Plunderer. Here, when our creature you control dies. Let's see what else can we do. We could Shriekmaw our own. that might be the play actually. We're gonna Shriekmaw our own Recruiter here. So this is what happens when another creature you control dies. Create a colorless token creature. Shriekmaw dies. Recruiter the Guard dies. So casting Shriekmaw is essentially free. Right here. So we killed our own creature. Wow, I know. What kind of deck is this? You kill your own creature, and it's actually, nets you. It's free. It's free to kill our own creature. We could, reduce this to here. We can cast Reanimate on our. Actually, we could Shriekmaw Dockside and get it back. But no, we need some gas, so we're gonna Reanimate our Recruiter of the Guard. Here, Recruiter Guard. Extus triggers, we get a Shriekmaw back and Reanimate Recruiter the Guard. So this one goes to our into play. This one goes into our hand with Extus trigger here. So this is a mini big turn. It's not super big. All right, so this Recruiter, what do we want here? We can get this Recruiter. We cannot get Yawgmoth again. I wish we could get Street Race and we do some drawing through our deck here. So let's just take a look at what we want. Viscera Seer helps us sack outlet, so that's a maybe here. It does help you scry to get more action, but we need some Sedgemoor Witch can come in play, make the dudes. I don't think we're at the dude making stage yet. I wish we can get Skull Clamp. Cannot get Skull Clamp here. This would be great to entomb actually. So you can double spell if necessary. So for Cutthroat's good to get some damage in there. We can get Stormkiln Artist to make mana, but we're not at the mana making phase. So I think Viscera Seer is our target there. So we'll do Viscera Seer, recruit Viscera Seer. Here we'll cut the deck. Here what we'll do is we will use the mana to play Viscera Seer. And what we could do is we could do some sacrificing here. We'll sacrifice Dockside to Viscera Seer. make a treasure. Scry. Land. No, we don't want land. We got enough of those. We'll sack Recruiter the Guard. Make a treasure. Here. Silent Blood. Okay, that gets us some action. Let's keep that on top. Okay. So we could sacrifice Visir, but we need 6 mana to do all our things that we want to do with Agadeem's Awakening. Because return from your graveyard to the battlefield any number of target creature cards that each have different converted mana cost X or less. So we have a 2, a 3, a 1 here. And then this cast a spell can return something to our hand. So what we could do is we could just sack. I think you have sack Pious Plunderer. Yeah, and then make the 5 mana, but you don't have enough to make, the 6 mana you need to get. You basically want Recruiter back to your hand. So what we'll do is we will we'll just pass the turn right there. We actually want to draw Silent Blood, so we go turn 6 here, draw Silent Blood. We assume that your commander survives, and sometimes I've seen it where people just don't kill people's commanders enough. So we're just gonna assume Extus survives. If not, then we just pay 6 mana, cast Extus again. Assume Extus survive. We draw our Silent Blood. What we can do is technically, we could sack Pious Plunderer to Visir. So this is when another creature, so that you don't make a treasure. We could sack Visir. Well, we got Scry. No, we don't want that. Put that to the bottom. Scry. Oh, we can't scry. Pretend you didn't see that card. We're gonna cast Shriek Maw on something. Do I have enough mana? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we're gonna cast Shriek Maw on something. Do we have a mana here? 5. Yep. Bam. We're gonna sack Visir here. And what we're going to do is we are going to cast Agadeem's Awakening for black. This goes in here, gets black. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 Agadeem's Awakening for 4. Because by casting it, we're going to have to target the Shriek Maw here. We're going to target this, put it back in our hand. Here, the Silent Blood. Cast Agadeem's Awakening. We're going to get CMC 1, CMC 2, CMC 3, CMC 4. Boom. Right there. Because right here, let's see here. Return from your graveyard to the battlefield any number of target creature cards that each have different converted mana cost X or less. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Agadeem's Awakening. See, Moldal face card helping us out. When it's good, it's good. But when you need mana, you just put in for mana. Okay, so we have a few triggers. Pretend this makes, again, like 4 treasures here. Recruiter the Guard trigger. We're going to find more fun stuff. Let's see here. Shriek Maw, Silent Blood. See, that's why I'm saying these recruiters are so important. The recruiter can actually find another recruiter. Because you just keep on finding more creatures. They can find Wismare. You cannot find Wismare off Recruiter Guard. You can use Imperial Recruiter for that one. Dual Casting Mage. So maybe we have some Dual Caster Mage here. I think Dual Caster Mage might be the way to go because we want to copy our spell. Both recruiters can grab it. See here. Yeah, and then eventually we can get Zolport Cutthroat to do some chip damage, but we want to just draw more cards. We just love drawing cards. That's what we want to do. All right, we'll recruit Dualcaster Mage for our pleasure here. All right, let's cut this deck right here. Okay, so we have 5 mana here. What we'll do is we will... remember we have Visir, so we are going to Okay, let's just do it now. Sack Dockside Extortionist, Vizier Seer, Valakut Awakening. That's okay. It costs a lot of mana, so let's scroll that here. Make a treasure from Payless Plunderer. We're going to sack Recruiter the Guard for Seer again. Here, make another treasure. Here. And okay, Dual Caster Mage, Sign Blood, Shriekmaw in our hands. So what we're going to do here is we're going to pay 5, essentially. So we have 6 here, pay 5, so we have 2 left. We're going to do a Sign in Blood, hold priority, Dual Caster Mage, Sign Blood. Now this triggers, this will trigger, right? Sign Blood will trigger, so you target something, obviously. I mean, I would target Dark Side because I need more mana. Dark Side Extortionist. This on the stack, ETBs, then enters battle, copy target. So I'm copying here. I didn't copy it yet. This goes in here, trigger on the stack, copy something. Says whenever you cast or copy an instance. So this trigger is going to stack. It did not copy yet. When it enters a battlefield, copy target, insert sorcery. So it just targets this. The trigger is still happening. What I can do is sack this to Vizier Seer, make another treasure, put it in the graveyard, and then the trigger would happen copying this on the stack. And now when it copies and puts a Sign Blood on the stack, Extus will trigger. You can get Dual Caster Mage back with that trigger on stack. And then now you get to draw, 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. You draw another Recruiter. You got to draw a land. This is sweet. I have a red here. What's this? White and black. I have tons of white. So I'll just play a Silent Clearing as my land for turn. This goes away. Guess what's going to happen? Play my Dockside Extortionist. Make hypothetically 4 more mana. 7 mana total. I can, let's see here, Imperial Recruiter for like Yawgmoth or something. Imperial Recruiter. Let's see here. See what we can get. We'll cast Imperial Recruiter. The other Recruiter here. Look through our deck again. This is a lot. We're doing a lot of deck searching here. Imperial Recruiter. I think Recruiter the Guard and get Living Lightning, so we can cast. See, what can Imperial Recruiter get? Monastery Mentor. All right, so I meant the other Recruiter. Yawgmoth. All right, we'll get Yawgmoth here. I think that is what we want because that's the one that helps draw cards. Okay. We will get our Yawgmoth here. I know it's super fun. All right, so this goes to our hand. This is in here. We do have a spell. That's not what we want to do. So what we do is we will just pay our 4 mana. Yawgmoth. What we'll do is we will sacrifice another creature. Okay, so sacrifice creature, Dockside, make a treasure here. Get the Scry, then the Yawgmoth, draw a card. Scry, we put that at the bottom. Again, we're putting that at the bottom. Draw a card, D-Spark. That's a spell. That's a spell. I'll tell you that. We could sack Imperial Recruiter to Vizier Seer. Actually, no, sorry. We did not get a Scry. My bad. So let's just say we sack this. We do these 2 cards. Because you can't sack this from here to here and here. My bad. Okay, let's say we draw that card and then we draw D-Spark. Okay. See, what we're going to do is we got D-Spark here. Oh, man, I think our mana is run out. Is there a way to get another mana? I guess we can. We'll just sack Vizier Seer to Yawgmoth. Get 1 more mana. Draw a card. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll D-Spark something with our treasure. We'll despark something, target our Dockside Extortionist. We'll use our, sorry, we only have one treasure here. Sacrifice our last treasure. Tap our thing to cast Dockside, get 4 more treasures. Here, we could Diabolic Intent our Dockside, get our Dockside back via Extus trigger. Recast Dockside, make more mana. Now we have a Demonic Tutor, get anything we want. Wherever we want. It doesn't even matter at this point. It's so good. Smothering Tide, Jessica's Will. We can make tons of mana there. Fulminator Mage, blow up the world. Remember, if Dockside actually made more than 4 mana, like 5 or 6, it'd be insane. Anyways, this is taking a long time. I tell you, this deck is super grindy. You can see how it works. Now we can tutor for whatever we want, like Living Lightning, cast this, get our thing back, sack this, cast this, go through some kind of magical loop that you're supposed to answer in the comments how that loop works. It does involve Dockside Extortionist. Very good card. Right here, Dockside, Imperial Recruiter the guard. Helps you get your bunch of stuff back. You can see how this deck works. It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. Now, maybe for your opponents, not as fun, but it's fun on my side. Anyways, enjoy the video. Give the video a thumbs up. Smash the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. Deck list, TCG Player affiliate link in the description below. And as always, have a wonderful day.